Know what you guys are thinking. You guys probably think that the U.A Traitor theory is actually long past its time, but after the few coming chapters, or the few chapters in My Hero Academia, I do think that the U.A Traitor theory will actually come into light, or the U.A Traitor will come into light, and they will actually be revealed. And if it never gets revealed, then this is just completely speculation. This video was probably a waste of time, but it's fun to make. Anyway, guys, this is the Red Cloak, and today I'll be telling you guys who was the U.A Traitor in my eyes. Do subscribe to the channel, and make sure to actually comment down below if you guys want more My Hero Academia videos. I'll also tell you guys, yes, this contains spoilers from the manga, so if you don't want to get spoiled, leave the video. Interruption, we should probably get into this video and get into that intro.
Yeah, hold up, what the fuck? Hey, bass in the trunk, yeah, shorty wanna fuck, but I'm busy getting bucks. If you know my fucking name, you know my music bumps. If you hate my fucking shit, you a motherfucking chump. Hey, ooh, yeah, damn, Billy stay high like a kite. Yeah, bitch, I blew up overnight. Yeah, you know the world around town. Hey, my diamonds bright like a light. Yeah, my music different, I'm right. Hey, my music different, I'm right. Yeah, who the fuck else sounds like this? Hey, my music different, I'm right. I don't give up.
If you don't know what the U.A Traitor theory is, then I guess you've been living under a rock, and I'm going to explain it pretty quickly. The U.A Traitor was first actually theorized in the season 1 of My Hero Academia in the USJ incident, because the League of Villains actually came to the USJ scheduled on All Might's time where he was supposed to be there. USJ is actually meant to help students with disasters, and the League of Villains basically just came in warp-gated with Kurogiri. The theory became more daunting when the League of Villains actually attacked the joint training force that they were in and kidnapped Bakugo. Only the teachers and the staff knew where this place was, and the students that were there. No hero knew where it was, no villain, no one knew except the staff of the school and the students who were there. Means someone probably either A, gave out their location, B, told the League of Villains ahead of time, or C, there's no traitor and the League of Villains just got lucky, which C is probably not likely. Right off the bat, it just can't be Deku because he's the main character and the new symbol of peace and All Might's successor. There would make no sense for Deku being the U.A Traitor, and it would be bad writing if he was the U.A Traitor. Unless he's on some Mission Impossible stuff, I don't see Deku as a traitor. He's too genuine, he's too heroic to be a U.A Traitor. Who was the U.A Traitor? I do think that Bakugo or Todoroki could find him out because one, Todoroki was able to find out that All Might was helping Deku in his corner, but never pried on it because he didn't care. Bakugo was smart enough to find out that All Might gave Deku his quirk. So yeah, that's a no for Deku. This actually leads into Bakugo. He's not the U.A Traitor because the League of Villains actually wanted to kidnap him so he can join, and Bakugo just doesn't seem like the person to betray his own friends. No matter how angry Bakugo is, no matter how rash and harsh he can be, it doesn't matter. He cannot be the traitor because I don't see him betraying his friends. And for Tokoyami and Shoto Todoroki just can't be the traitor because again, he's actually Endeavor's son, and he has no motives to betray his classmates because he's friends with Deku, Bakugo, Momo, everyone else there. And for Tokoyami, I just don't see him doing that. Even though he's shrouded in darkness, I just don't see him betraying his classmates. He has a good bond with Shoji and everyone else there. And Kirishima is just way too nice and way too innocent. He doesn't really have a good motive to betray the classmates, so I don't see him betraying anyone. I don't really want to get into the rest of Class 1A because most of them are irrelevant, and the others just don't have holes leaking out of them that they're the traitor, so it just wouldn't make sense. So we just go on to Class 1B. Off the bat, Kendo and Tetsu are not the traitors because they were fighting a League of Villain member who was actually using, I think it was mustard gas, I'm pretty sure. And it's between you and me, I don't think Kendo or Tetsu has a motivation to actually betray their classmates in Class 1B. There's no way that they could do it, and there's no way that they could achieve anything if they did it. So yeah, these guys are off the list. And yeah, there's no way that black guy from Class 1B
do me a favor, shut the fuck up.
Did it because again, he has really no motivations or nothing to gain from this. I might as well get into the staff. I don't think it's Eraserhead because he seems like a good teacher, which he is. He's risked his life multiple times for these students, so I don't see him as the traitor. And most of the staff seems pretty innocent. It seems like good teachers. Kind of finishes off my list for who is definitely not the traitor. So yeah, we can get into the people who is actually possibly the traitor right now. People theorize actually Denki Kaminari because he's actually able to jam signals and actually send out his location. And sending out his location would be pretty useful for the forced attack when they kidnap Bakugo. And people think he's hiding how smart he is because of the way that he was talking to Bakugo on the bus in season 1, which I'm not going to attempt to read because I'm not, my brain's just not on that capacity level right now. If we're talking about Denki Kaminari, people think he's the dumbest in the class. Jiro thinks it, most people in the class thinks it, but still, he may be hiding how smart he is. The way that his room's set up, it just seems like he just slapped on other things to make himself look like a teen, or make himself look like a teenager just to fit in, just so he could still spy on everyone and actually send out information to the League of Villains. In my honest opinion, I don't think he has a motive to actually be the traitor, and I don't think he is the traitor, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was the traitor and had this convoluted plan planned out under his sleeve, just like Lord Aizen. I don't think he's the traitor because one, he saved Jiro, Momo in season 1 multiple times. He was able to save everyone in the manga in the war arc, which you guys should definitely check out. Read the manga, it's pretty cool. In the manga, Midnight actually told him to think about somebody he cares about, which is Jiro, and again, he was actually thinking about her, so that's just scratched off the theory for me. I just don't think he's the traitor, but if he is, that is probably the biggest 360 I've ever seen. It's probably gonna be the best plot twist of the series. The next person who may be the traitor and is actually on my thumbnail is Momo Yaoyorozu. Look guys, I don't think she is the traitor, to be honest. She's just on the thumbnail because I thought it would look cool. I do believe some aspects of the Momo may be the traitor theory because everyone believes that Momo actually gave Makia adrenaline instead of the actual anesthetic to put him to sleep. What if theory, if Momo was the U.A traitor, maybe she actually thought that the heroes are going to actually put Makia to sleep with the anesthetic, so she basically lied to everyone, said she's the most trusted in the class. And being trusted is also a prize and a burden for class 1A and a prize for Momo Yaoyorozu. It's not out of the realm of possibility that this may be adrenaline that Momo gave Makia, but still, this actually gets contradicted because Momo did say that Makia must move around a lot for this anesthetic to kick in, which, seen in the past chapters, it hasn't kicked in whatsoever right now. Because the anesthetic hasn't kicked in doesn't mean Momo is the traitor. It just means Makia maybe just be too powerful for this anesthetic to actually work on him. Now let's say if she is the traitor, I'm gonna be honest, she gains nothing from this. All she gains is people hating her, and she loses trust from everyone from class 1A and class 1B and the students and the faculty from U.A High School. And moments before she took over, Momo was actually sad that her sensei may be dead. With all of this, I just don't think Momo could be the traitor. It just doesn't make sense because she's the one that put a tracking device on one of the Nomus to find out where Bakugo was with the League of Villains. So is it possible she's a traitor? Yeah, but right now it's unlikely that she's the traitor. So now we can get on to the next person. The next person on this list is actually Nato Monoma from class 1B. And the way this guy acts, he just makes me think that he's a villain, if we're being honest. Every time a word comes out of this guy's mouth, either to antagonize class 1A or just seem like a complete villain in my eyes. But if we're being completely honest, he has toned down the manga, but he still has that antagonizing speech or that antagonizing personality to him. Stick in a way, he'll use any means necessary just to get into the opponent's head. So yeah, he'll trash talk them no matter what and no matter what the means are. There's this crazy theory that this guy's all for one's son, which is kind of a far stretch, but it's actually kind of possible because how similar their quirks are. Because Monoma needs to touch somebody to copy their quirk for a certain amount of time, while All For One actually needs to touch somebody to actually steal their quirk. So we can just say that Monoma's quirk is kind of a weaker and less advanced All For One quirk, which that kind of makes sense since the way that their quirks are pretty similar. But again, I don't really see this guy being the traitor because the sheer fact that he likes everyone in class 1B, he's not really that harsh to them. Monoma is kind of a 50-50 here, so we can move on to the next candidate of who the U.A traitor is. Hyuga Aoyama is pretty much a tough one because he's in the same boat as Deku. He can't really control his quirk, so he needs a support item, but maybe All For One or Shigaraki or both of them came to Aoyama saying that if he was able to spill some info on U.A, he could possibly get a better quirk or get an upgrade on his quirk. Let us know that Hyuga Aoyama is kind of creepy when he needs to be, and in season 1 in the USJ incident, we had no idea where he was, and he was just saying that he was hiding out. Hyuga Aoyama might just buy in if the price is right for his quirk to actually get modified or his quirk to get better from All For One and Shigaraki, or just All For One to be honest. But the main issue with Aoyama being the U.A traitor is how he basically came in clutch in season 3 and saved basically Tokoyami from getting kidnapped by the villains, using the naval laser to actually hit Mr. Compress, actually shooting the marbles out of his mouth, and able to get Shoji to actually grab the marbles for himself and actually save Tokoyami. If Aoyama really was the traitor, he probably would have just let this happen if we're being honest. But again, he's not the traitor because he's able to save Tokoyami from getting kidnapped by the villains, actually buying them some time so they could actually try and grab Bakugo, which failed. Even though Aoyama was actually contemplating saying, let the heroes take care of this, you can't ignore the fact that he did save Tokoyami. So is he the traitor? Nah, if we're being honest, he's not the traitor. That evidence right there just kind of sums it up. I don't think he's the traitor. If he is, then I'm going to be pretty surprised, and they better explain why he even did that against League of Villains in Season 3. I'm going to keep this brief because no one wants a U.A traitor or Araka, so yeah, let me just say this. I don't think she's the U.A traitor. If she was, then that would be the greatest plot twist of this whole series, but they better explain it. Why? She basically is going to betray her friends, Deku, everyone in U.A. Maybe Shigaraki threatened her parents or actually promised that he would actually give her parents more money so they can live a better life. But again, I don't think Araka's going to do this because 1, she's terrible at keeping secrets, and 2, this just isn't really like her, if we're being honest. She wouldn't really sell out her whole friends and basically everyone in class 1A. It just isn't in her character or in her nature, so yeah, Uraraka's a no, but it's a slim chance she could probably be the traitor, and I probably would be surprised if she was. Now, my main person, who I actually think the U.A Traitor is the Invisible Girl, Hero Academia. If I'm saying that wrong, comment. Now, what I like to say is, being invisible comes with a lot of quirks. Probably like getting out of bed and giving out your location to the League of Villains, you know, sneaking out of class, being invisible, giving out the USJ schedule to the League of Villains, or basically selling everyone out, being invisible, and giving all your information to the League of Villains. Now, we all know Invisible Girl has a problem with standing out, and maybe All For One and Shigaraki promised her a better quirk, or actually make her visible to everyone, just so she can, you know, betray her friends and give her information to the League of Villains. And in my opinion, there's no flaws with this theory, if we're being honest. In the USJ, she was claiming that she was with Ojiro, which, again, she wasn't. It was clearly shown that Ojiro was by himself, fighting off the villains, and she was basically claiming that, which was completely false. And in the class rep thing, her vote wasn't really casted. No one actually saw it. Being for real, her being invisible just makes her more of a suspect even more. Being invisible, you can do anything, sneak out, do anything. You can do literally anything with being invisible. And if she is the traitor, I wouldn't really care, because I don't care about her character, and I wouldn't feel sad if it was like somebody like Uraraka, Momo, or Denki Kaminari. I just wouldn't care, because we haven't seen enough of her character for us to care about her. Anyways, tell me in the comment section down below, what do you guys actually think about this video? You guys agree on the people on this list? You disagree? Do you just think there should be some people added to this list? Or do you think I'm flat out wrong? Well, subscribe if you guys are new. It only takes like 1 second. You always unsubscribe if you're not happy. But it's been the Red Cloak. I'm gonna head up out of here, and peace.